We are here to discuss about certain very important aspect of our Indian economy as well as Indian golden era that we have passed through. And the basic thing is that if you go back into the history, India was once upon a time was called a golden bird. Economic golden bird, economy. Okay. And it was like a Vishwaguru. And it was the biggest nation with elite people and elite knowledge. Luckily, still these values are still kept by people in this country, and with which we are again trying to bounce back to our same glory as in the past.
Let us take the entire economic situation and the behavior of the finances of the Indian scenario into three parts. The first initial, the cultural behavior and the cultural outgrowth and the leadership that India played throughout the world. That is going back to about 1,000 years. The second part, we will emphasize the 1,000 years of ruling. And the third part, after 1947, what is the position of the India and India after 1947, let us call it that. Now, going back to the roots of our culture, India was the leader throughout the world, contributing to an extent of 3.5% of the GDP. World GDP contribution was from the economy of Indian business. In other words, the Indian culture, Indian religion, Indian behavior, Indian discipline, and the knowledge we had has been controlled throughout the world, and eminent people started visiting India for the sake of knowledge and for the sake of the further spiritual behavior and also the richness of the country. In the process, when the country was very prosperous, which has been defined as a Hindu growth of GDP, Hindu growth rate as GDP was 3.5%, which was continued till 1850s, till the first mutiny of the Britishers started. From before 1850, the entire country, the Indian region, was invaded by the plunderers. They exploited, they looted, and they started. The Hindu religion was so strong till date. We are still 85% of our population in Hindu population. That is really the strength of our country. After the 1850, the British India Company came into the picture. They have taken the control of all the infrastructure, the resources of the knowledge, resources of the natural resources, and improved their business. And they became, instead of being desirous to be improve in the business, they have become avaricious and started misusing and suppressing the Indian farmer community and the industrial community, affected the entire morale of the Indian population in two ways. One is we became depressed, we became degraded. We never had guts to say that we are Indians. And the second, all the monies and the economy was totally disturbed, and the Hindu rate of 3.5% has been reduced to 3%. Fortunately, there was no domination of any religion in India till 1947. After the independence, now we enter into an era of free democracy and laissez-faire economic system, wherein our own economic policies were being started taking shape into the Indian government. In the first phase of the economic revivals, we have followed the socialistic pattern of economy, wherein we were very much influenced by the Russian economy. Instead of rather giving importance to the agriculture development and the infrastructure, we have given importance to the industrial development and institutional development, taking the funds and the revenues from the agriculture sector. Nowhere in the world it is proved, any developed country, if you take an example of US, Japan and all that, they are first self-sufficient in agriculture and second self-sufficient in the infrastructure, then the industrial revolution has taken place. Unfortunately, in India it was reverse. These policy decisions have had a long range of internal effect which is not being shown to the ordinary public, and today we are facing the results of that wrong policy decisions. How it happened? When the socialistic system of this one, the financial institutes of the bankers were given a free hand without calculating the real ROI, whatever the investments they were giving to the industrialist or anything, the ROI was not calculated properly in a small this one. That is one. Second, unfortunately, in India, today the RBI, a regulatory body, has been not represented by an economist who understands the real culture of Indian economic behavior. They were well educated, they were educated in the foreign countries, and they have bought the policies just like that and adapted in India. There is one factor which is affected this one. And no governor till date has taken the basis of the Indian economic culture and developed the policies accordingly. A small example to understand for an ordinary person is, when you're giving industrial finances, the revenues, the capital investment in the banks were not properly supported by infusing the capital into the banks. Why? The capital infusion into the banks were done by the government by taking monies from the agriculture produce, plus also taxes collected by the person. The taxes which are already into the circulation of the economy were taken back to the Reserve Bank of India as a capital. Again it is bought back. Asset has been not properly created. Now today the bank is facing the same problem. If the bank is very strong in the capital assets, there is no requirement for the banker, for the government of India to infuse funds. Recently they have infused nearly about 80,000 crores towards the capital investment. Why they have borrowed some short the dividends amount, which was the reserves of the Indian government in the Reserve Bank of India, has been released to an extent of about 1 lakh rupees and bought back as a capital investment to the bankers. Now again, very recently, BSNL is being revived. It was supposed to be closed down, and they are asked more than 50% of the employees to take VRS and close that. But surprisingly, they are given a package of 95,000 crores to the BSNL. How they are going to get that 95,000 crores? So this kind of economic behavior of the finances were not suitable to our country. Fortunately, after 2014, we got a leadership. It is not that I am supporting a political leadership as a BJP or anything. We got a leadership where a structural changes are being tried. Whatever the bad loans like NPAs, they are being addressed. They are being tried to be given resolutions with the various agencies like IBM, insolvency systems and all, whatever technically they were doing it, they are trying to do it. When these kind of structural changes are being taken, the bad behaviors and the wrong loans which were given are definitely gets affected, and the cases are being booked, and even the entrepreneurs, including the bank officials, are also put into control. So this kind of, when structural changes are taking place, everybody has become indifferent, including the bankers. They are in a position why to take the responsibility, and the entrepreneur is scared and he is not properly managing his finances. It is bound to happen. Added to this, there is a total slowdown in the economy of the world. If you can see today, the fast-growing economy like China, which is forecasted for 8.25 GDP increase, has been rated down to 6%. And Indian GDP, which was forecasted for 7.5%, has been brought down to 6%. So these are the world economic situations. It is not created by the present government or the present economic system in India. That is the second effect. Third effect, for last September, anywhere in India, the quarter of September till Diwali, it will be a slow market. And this time, the climate changes are very bad, and it was not being properly managed. So this has added to the slowdown of the economy. So now saying that India is into a recession, to my knowledge, is not that. It is only a slow process. Probably when these things are taken into consideration, like once we complete the Diwali quarter, definitely the rains are ended, the rains distribution is very good. We are expecting very Rabi crop to be increased. All those positive points are there. Now at this situation, at this juncture of the economy, I feel that Other people who are interested in the country should not give a false reactions into the market and create a confusion into the ordinary people's mind, in the entrepreneurs, in the public, in the retail market and everything. It is wrong. Please don't do that. GST. Everybody says that GST has impacted and it has created a lot of problems to the small scale industries or medium scale industries or MNCs. No. I, being an MSME sector, I feel very comfortable with the GST. In fact, I am doing a very comfortable business, peace of mind. Even my seller, my purchasers are taking the bills, even my suppliers are giving proper bills, and we are doing a comfortable. Well, when any big reform takes place in a country, some percentage of the people are supposed to be put to inconvenience. Well, in the interest of the country, we have to face it. To my knowledge, to my business level I am doing in India, I feel there is no recession, only slowdown. Probably it is only a time factor of another quarter where I am confident our economy is going to pick up back.
First thing, whether Indian economy is in recession or slowdown. In my opinion, Indian economy is not in recession. It is streamlining and strengthening because many of the waste idle assets are becoming ideal assets. Unproductive investments becoming productive investments. Money was used for lavish and luxury expenditure being transformed for responsible investment, responsible expenditure due to demonetization. That is the thing we should not forget. And one more thing is GST. They are one of the most riskiest, adventurous reform introduced by the government. This was due right from independence onwards. 13 to 14 indirect taxes are brought into single tax, which reduced the compliance of assessments, payment of charges, filing returns, compliance, all these things. Now one tax, one rate of tax for one product, and input tax credit, tax and tax credit benefit, cascading effect has been gone down. And many of the taxes and multiple administrations and reduced to one administration. This is the advantage we have achieved and successfully it is being implemented. Of course, there may be some confusion because of software is not able to cope up with the required compliances, fulfillments. This may be due, but this is going in a smooth way. One thing is, we are observing, yesterday we have seen in a newspaper, Indian Bank has earned a profit of so and so 100 crores or 130 crores. The same quarter, they incurred a loss of 1,000 crores. Now it is profit. So this is the change is happening. Why it is happening is because of all NPS written off, the section is over, all the loans are becoming viable and they are paying installments or interest on time, increasing the performance profitability of the banks. That is a revival stage. Air India needs 53,000 crores loans is there. They wanted 1,000 crores for operation expenses as non-convertible debentures. But astonishment, to that surprise, they collected 20,800 crores as in NCD, non-conventional debentures. See, they asked for 1,000 crores, they could get 20,000 crores as investments. That is the reason. And they kept it, according to allowed, permitted, they have kept 7,000 crores with them and 13,000 crores they have returned. And you see, many insurance policies are increasing, provident fund contributions are increasing, mutual funds are increasing, bank deposits are also increasing, all financial assets contribution is increasing because of, all this is because of due to demonetization. Because many people who are not having accounted cash, now because of dividing the bank, now they are transferred their investments as responsible investments and they become financial assets useful for infrastructure. And many investments are going towards infrastructure side, maybe railways, road projects, transportation projects, many things are happening because of funds available and money is available in the economy. Of course, this may not be available in the opposite area. Earlier it was there, but it was an unaccounted side. But now it is accounted side. Accounted money became creating accounted wealth, accounted income, accounted economic development. This is the change we are seeing. This is the transformation happened because of demonetization. That was required surgery, currency reform that was undertaken by the government courageously. And this is one more thing. We cannot say that India is in recession. India is flourishing, but it is under cover. Because you see the attitude of people, entrepreneurs, anybody. Earlier they used to say we can take it granted for doing unaccounted activity. But now nobody is taking risk because of various checks mentioned, various benefits given for accounted transactions, and all this encouraging the entrepreneurs as well as individuals for savings, investments, entrepreneurship, and as well as employment also. You see that in the month of July, 12 lakhs new employees has been added according to ESI records. Means 1 month 12 lakhs. Earlier to that month 9 lakhs. Means everybody, those who are not on the records of Labour Department, now they are coming to Labour Department, they are becoming regular payables protected from minimum wages and all the benefits of labour. This is the transformation is happening. This is the good side of the economy. Of course, we are not that much fast, we are not, but direction is good and we are moving in the right direction. That is important. Of course, it may take some more time because of huge population. We should be confident and highly, we should feel that there is no, of course, people say that there is unemployment. Where is unemployment? We cannot find people to get the staff. We are unable to get the staff. Even industries also unable to get the workers. What is happening? Where is the unemployment? People are there, but they are not able to do. Only inefficient are unemployed. Efficient are not unemployed. That is the symptom. We should understand the difference between that. And now about this Indian economy situation is peculiar because Indian economy is moving with saving economy, but not a spending economy, just like Europe and North America, Latin American countries. They depend on spending, we depend on saving for investments for future. That is the basic difference between these two sides, means ASEAN countries, ASEAN African countries, and Europe countries, Latin American countries, and that is the difference. Spending is not a development at all. Investment is a development. What is the net wealth growth is development. And the Indian economy says that there is a recession. They say that 5% growth is not sufficient. Okay. If there is a negative growth for 2 quarters, it is called recession. But here is a growth is there. But of course, expected is 8%, but it will grow by 5%. It doesn't mean that there is negative. Negative means 100 becomes 95. 95 becomes 90. Here growth is 100 becomes 105. Of course, we expected 108. It doesn't mean that there is recession. So even globally there is a recession because of over expenditure, over borrowing. Even many of the developed nations are having over borrowed sovereign loans. They are unable to finance their loans also. Even the most disciplined is Japan is also facing that problem. Portuguese is facing the problem. Brazil is facing the problem. All these countries facing the problem because of over sovereign debt. This is the other side of the economy. We should feel happy that see earlier Indian economy giving a bank deposits, SLR and CLR they have to maintain. Earlier 2014 the SLR was 24%, CLR was 9%. Now it is reduced to 19% for SLR, 4% for CLR, means 10% reduced. 10% of 1,83,000 lakh crores of deposits, 10% of 8 lakh crores reduced from the bank, government loans. That itself is saving around 50 to 60,000 crores interest from the government side. See, this is the positive side of government thinking and reducing the loan burden of sovereign debts. That is the advantage position where we are in that position. We should understand that. Of course, there may be some negative. Of course, we expect many things. If we achieve 60%, that is sufficient. We are achieving that in that direction. We are happy to that. We should feel happy and also we should be comfortable. Honest is comfortable now and greedy is always unhappy now. So greedy is the problem. Greedy people are shouting more and happy people are silent more. That is the reason. Thank you.
Indian economy is in correction stage, not in recession. That is well proved by both our speakers. If you take the data that says in last 60 years, previous 60 years, during the period of Congress, 18 lakh crores were the advances given to the industries, whereas in last 10 years, previous 10 years of the Congress regime, the advances by the banks were 54 lakh crores. So what does it mean? When you have aggressive advances, definitely NPAs will increase because of so many reasons. Without having proper due diligence, if you are just giving loans for the purpose of advancing, definitely those loans are going to turn into NPAs, and those are the loans which are now being shown as NPAs and which are showing the difficulty in the economy, Indian economy right now. What I feel is GST and demonetization also we can include it. These are the corrective steps taken by the government, wherein we had a turnover before 2014 was 50 crores, which has gone today, it has gone to 100 crores, and next 4 to 5 years we are expecting it to go to 200 crores. Why? Because we are following since beginning all the systems. The business is a natural, we cannot say it has all of a sudden it has come. It is natural business because the people, if you really go with the proper accounting, proper tax paying, then only you can survive. Otherwise you will have to miss the bus. These are the some correction which are being taken place in the society. Thank you very much.